In Capital News tonight, government implements locust destruction operation in Longido District, Arusha region. Heavy rains caused death and destruction of rail infrastructure in Kalindi, Tanga region. And in sports, Simba Sports Club destroyed Al Ahly at Benjamin Kappa Stadium, Dar es Salaam in a CAF Championship League game. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbo. First, the national news. The government has started an operation against a locust invasion in Longido District, Arusha region by using a pesticide spraying plane. Residents have been warned not to go close to areas that have been sprayed with the pesticide for 5 days in order to avoid adverse health effects.
Tumeweza kupuliza makundi yote yaliyokuwepo katika wilaya Longido na kundi la mwisho tumemalizia kule Simanjiro.
We managed to spray to all groups of pests in Longido district. We are grateful that the exercise has been completed effectively. Although monitoring exercise is ongoing to check on impacts of the spraying exercise, the pesticide used lasts up to 48 hours to completely kill all pests.
Boma kwa boma kutoa taarifa.
We have had house-to-house sessions to inform people not to take their cattle for grazing on areas that the pesticide was spread on. Even children should not be allowed to play around these areas.
Wataalamu wetu wasiondoke hapa ili kama kuna masalia au ambao.
Experts should not leave until all pests have been destroyed completely.
Kabisa.
A heavy rainstorm that fell for more than 5 hours yesterday in Kalindi District, Tanga region, has caused a death of one person and destruction of road infrastructure.
Daraja hili ndio linaunganisha kati ya wilaya Gairo na wilaya Kalindi, lakini iko katikati.
This bridge connects the two districts, but as you see, it is in the middle of the district. It connects people to essential services. Lightning struck the house and hit the disease. We had lightning. Today I know it is a real weapon.
The Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Philippe Pango, has been discharged from Benjamin Kappa Hospital in Dodoma, where he had been receiving inpatient treatment for 2 weeks. Before leaving, he thanked the hospital's management and healthcare attendants for the professional service he received.
Mwezi wa pili 2021 nimekaa hapa nikihudumiwa hapa peke yake. Leo ni siku ya 14.
I've been receiving treatment here and today is the 14th day. I came with an oxygen cylinder, but you see me today. This is the 3rd day I've not needed to use oxygen cylinder. I would like to tell Tanzanians that my health has improved and doctors are confident that I can now begin to go back and serve our nation.
Nitumie fursa hii kuwaomba wa Tanzania tupende vya kwetu.
Let me take this opportunity to urge Tanzanians to treasure our own. This is a high-profile government leader who in the past would have been treated abroad, but you see he has received treatment here in Benjamin Kappa Hospital.
Ambaye yuko hapa Dodoma makao makuu ya nchi na wote mnashuhudia ni mwenye afya njema.
The Immigration Division in Katavi region has detained 40 illegal immigrants, including 2 children from Burundi and the Democratic Republic of Congo, after entering the country without required documents.
Katika misako yetu hii jumla wa 140 haramu 40.
During this search, we have arrested 40 illegal immigrants. 28 are foreign nationals, of which 23 are Burundi nationals, and the remaining 5 are from Congo. 23 will be taken to court, out of which 18 are Burundians and 4 Congolese. The remaining 6 will be deported, of which there are 5 Burundians and 1 Congolese.
Lakini wengine 6 tutawaondosha nchini. Katika hao 6 Warundi ni 5 na Mkongo mmoja.
Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan has directed all research conducted on forest harvest NBs be rewritten in layman's terms and given to targeted beneficiaries instead of leaving them in cupboards. She said the research has cost the government money, but it is yet to bring the productivity it intended. Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan's statement was made by the Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Dr. Damas Ndumbaro, during the opening of an international scientific symposium on the value chain of forest and bee harvest for the development of the industrial economy.
Anasema Tanzania ina wasomi wengi sana. Wasomi hawa wanafanya tafiti nyingi sana.
Tanzania has a lot of educated people who conduct a lot of research in forest and bee products. It is time that research gets to the people.
Sisi kama wizara tunakuahidi kufanya kazi hiyo kwa moyo wa dhati, uzalendo.
As a ministry, we promise to do the job wholeheartedly with patriotism and efficiency to ensure these resources are well preserved and are used and a progressive foundation so as to strengthen the industrial.
Lengo kuu la programu hii ni kuongeza faida za uchumi, kijamii, kimazingira, na wakati huo huo
the aim of this program is to increase economic benefits communally and environmentally, while at the same time to minimize destruction of the forest.
Endelevu wa rasilimali za misitu na kuinua maisha ya jamii kwa ujumla.
The Minister of Home Affairs, George Simbachawene, has directed the National Identification Authority, NIDA, to ensure 12 million citizens who have been registered and have NIDA numbers to receive their IDs by July this year, as the government has purchased new equipment to speed up production of the IDs.
Masaa moja 1,000 hadi 1,200 na kwa masaa 16 wanayofanya kazi wanaweza kuzalisha vitambulisho.
In 16 hours, they were able to produce between 32 to 35,000 IDs, and this is because the old cards were used in the new plants. After finishing the old cards, approximately 5 million we will start producing the second generation cards, which are processed a lot faster in the machine. If you go to register your telephone number, you're asked if you have a NIDA card. If you don't, it becomes difficult for you to register.
A consignment of more than 500 logs that were harvested illegally at Chengena Forest in Tayawad, Chombe suburb, Same District, Kilimanjaro region, and was hidden in a house have been seized in an operation by the district's Defense and Security Committee.
Ambayo tunafahamu kabisa ni tipori mingi, kwanza iko ambayo hairuhusiwi na serikali.
Some have been prohibited by the government and are not allowed to be harvested, and there are those not allowed by law, and when permitted it is by a special permit.
Sasa hivi utasikia maji yanatiririka, ni kwa sababu huku juu.
You can hear the water trickle. This is because the forest from the upper area has been preserved. So if people cut down trees carelessly, it will affect the weather in this area. I urge surrounding community, this forest belongs to all of us and benefits us all. We must therefore take ownership and protect it.
Kijiji, kata, pamoja na wilaya yetu kwa ujumla na taifa kwa ujumla.
The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has signed the condolence book for Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad, who was the first Vice President of Zanzibar at the Sheikh Idrisa Abdul Wakil Hall. The late Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad passed away on February the 17th of this year at Muhimbili National Hospital and was buried at his village in Nyali, Mtambwe, Wete District, North Pemba region. The end of national news. International news follows next. And in international news, Rwandan Hutu rebels have denied allegations that they were behind the killing of the Italian ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo and instead accused the armies of the DRC and Rwanda for responsibility. Italian ambassador Lucia Atanasio died on Monday after a World Food Programme convoy came under fire near the eastern city of Goma while he was on a field trip. Democratic Republic of Congo Interior Ministry blamed the killings on members of the Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Rwanda FDLR, a Rwandan Hutu rebel group that has plagued the region for more than a quarter of a century. The Building Bridges Initiative BBI bill is now headed to the National Assembly and the Senate after it on Tuesday crossed the 24 counties mark required by law. County assemblies said that, I repeat that county assemblies that passed the bill on Tuesday include Kakamega, Narok, Mukeni, Nyamira, Taita Taveta, Kitui, Bungoma, Maranga, Machakos and Lamu.
Assembly, it had to go through public participation, and it successfully went through public participation. And yesterday we were together with all members of the county assembly to make sure that they are also taken through by the experts, through the bill by the experts, so that they are able to understand the bill, so that when they pass it, as they have done it today, they understand what they are passing.
And I want to thank my MCAs, our MCAs, because today when they converged, they just expressed and implemented the will of the people of Muranga. There was not a single voice of dissent. Out of 53 MCAs, all of them attended. It was the most attended session.
That today, the 23rd of February, 2021, the County Assembly of Narok considered the BBI-driven Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020, and they have all unanimously adopted and approved the same.
Moving on, the United Nations Refugee Agency has said at least 7,000 people who fled escalating ethnic violence in western Ethiopia have sought asylum in neighboring Sudan amid hate and tensions between the two neighboring countries. UNHCR says the asylum seekers who fled Metakel have been living among Sudanese host communities. It said it was working with local authorities in the Blue Nile province to respond to the humanitarian needs of newly arrived, many of whom have arrived in hard-to-reach places along the border. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows shortly after the break. We'll be right back.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody
can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production, infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. Bank of Tanzania has prohibited community groups, including village community banking vikoba, to be charged registration fees as well as taxes, and that instead such costs will be covered by the government. The statement is made in Mtwara by the manager of microfinance and forex BOT, Victor Tarimo.
Usajili unafanyika kwa bure kabisa, hizo gharama zinabebwa na serikali.
Registrations are free. The costs are taken care by the government. Again, I would like to make things clear on rumors that are spread that registrations are foundations for formulation of taxes. It is not true. The aim of the government is to protect these groups and support their growth, because we know that they help people from lower levels of economy to succeed financially.
Level ya chini ya maisha kwenda kwenye level ya juu. Lakini pia ni vikundi ambavyo vinasaidia serikali katika kufikia lengo lake la kuhakikisha kwamba huduma za fedha zinapatikana kwa wananchi wengi zaidi.
Some fish processing industries in Lake Zone regions have said they are facing challenges caused by high operational costs and increase in Nile perch prices in the domestic market, which have gone up from 6,000 shillings a kilo to 12,000 shillings a kilo.
Kwa hali hii naona production imepungua kiasi cha 50% sasa.
Production has decreased. The markets are not doing well due to the pandemic, because many countries in Europe have been hit bad. Before, we used to transport up to 300 tons per month, but right now we only transport between 150 to 180 tons.
Upatikanaji wa samaki katika eneo la ziwa letu ni wa msimu.
Getting fish at the lake is seasonal, and sometimes it depends on how far fishermen can go. I would conclude by saying that it is not true that fish quantity has decreased at the lake, but the current climatic conditions of between January to March has contributed much in lack of enough fish.
Sio kwa wingi kwa maeneo ya kwetu, upande wa baadhi ya maeneo wanakokwenda kuvua.
The value of investment in shares and treasury bonds on the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange during the week ending 19th of February went up to 15.40 billion shillings compared to 15.21 billion shillings a fortnight ago.
Segment ya hisa ilikuwa ni milioni 690 na segment ya
960 million shares, 40 billion dividends. Leading companies are CRDB with 93.15%, which is equivalent to 643 million, JATU 5.40%, which is equivalent to 37 million, and DSE 1.19%, which is equivalent to 8.24 million shillings. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. position, Marquinhos. He did lose to Len.
Welcome back, and in sports news, the Tanzania and East Africa representatives in the CAF Champions League Simba Sports Club have continued to shine at the Benjamin Kappa Stadium, this time defeating the CAF defending champions Al Ahly by a goal to nil. The only goal of the game, and definitely a goal of the competition candidate, was scored by Luis Mekison in the 29th minute. Moving on, participants of the Tanzania Football Summit, which will take place on March 18th and 19th, are expected to learn on new ways of using technology as well as financial issues in football. Now, moving on, participants now.
Nowadays on football, we're talking about why we should be also at the cutting edge of the technology. We need to be edgy in football wise. And then Marcos Philippe, my colleague he's the managing director of our office in South Africa. He will be addressing other sources of revenues and the financial issues that are related to the clubs, to the leagues. And yes, I think a quite important point as well. So
now moving on, Ghana are through to the quarter-finals of the ongoing Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations in Mauritania, despite a 2-1 defeat to Gambia on match day 3 of the group stage.
Abdul Fattah Isahaku scored first for the Black Satellites, but replies from Kajali Drame and Lamarana Jallo completed a comeback win for the Young Scorpions at Stade Municipal de Nouadhibou. Ghana finished third in Group C behind Gambia and Morocco, but still progressed to the next round as one of the best group stage third-place sides at the competition. Tanzania, meanwhile, finished bottom of the log following a 3-0 loss to Morocco in the other group game, wrapping up their campaign with 2 defeats, a draw and an early elimination. Ghana will face Cameroon, who finished top of Group A with 3 wins in the quarterfinals on Thursday. The same day, Morocco take on Tunisia in an all-North Africa affair.
Luis Suarez has revealed that the most disappointing aspect of his departure from Barcelona was that the club said he was too old to perform at the highest level. Here's more on the story.
Suarez left Barca for Atletico last September in a transfer Camp Nou icon Lionel Messi described as crazy, and he has gone a long way to proving the club were hasty in their actions by firing his new team to the summit of La Liga. The 34-year-old Uruguayan is happy in his new surrounds, despite admitting it was tough to uproot his family, but is still irked by being billed as too old. Suarez claims his record stood up to the closest scrutiny and that the club erred in signing players not on an elite level.
And Cristiano Ronaldo continued his march through Serie A opposition as he scored in Juventus' clash with Crotone. Here are more details.
Ronaldo fired 2 first-half goals for Juventus as the Portuguese star netted his 17th and 18th goals of the Serie A season. In doing so, he moved closer to a mark currently held by Zlatan Ibrahimovic while making his own mark on Serie A history. With his finishes against Crotone, Ronaldo has now scored against every team currently in Italy's top flight. Crotone were the last team that Ronaldo had failed to score against, having now fired 70 goals since making the move to Juventus.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbo. Thank you for watching and good night.
Watch Capital News live on our social media accounts, YouTube Capital TV and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania from Monday to Friday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and put notification on.
It's Culinary Delights every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. only on Capital Television.
Catch CapChats, an interactive talk show on various trending issues, live on our social media platforms, on YouTube, Capital TV, on Facebook, Capital Television Tanzania, on Sunday at 9:15 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification.
Welcome to the program. This week on Turning the Spotlight, we are so excited. We've come to Kigamboni, but specifically to Raskotani, to look at some of the conservation work going down in Garamia Riverine Forest Reserve, whereby we'll be able to talk to various stakeholders about how it has been in their journey towards conservation. So please stay with us. Wapenzi watazamaji, kama nilivyoeleza hapo awali, ni kwamba leo tuko Raskotani Kigamboni, na mbele yangu ni kaka ambaye kwa kweli wakati eneo hili liliporudishwa katika uhifadhi, yeye alikuwa miongoni mwa watu ambao kwa kweli alikuwa na mchango mkubwa sana kuhakikisha kwamba eneo hili linafika kuwa katika ukijani huu tunaoona hivi sasa. Kwa hiyo nimemuita hapa ili aweze kushare na Turning the Spotlight kuhusiana na historia kidogo huko nyuma, mambo yalikuwa vipi na hadi sasa mafanikio haya wamepitia njia gani kuweza kuyafikia. Karibu sana.
Mimi naitwa Kambi Athumani Kambi, mzaliwa wa hapa Gomvo, Amani Gomvo.
Umekuwa ukiishi katika eneo hili toka ulipozaliwa ama ni ulizaliwa ukahama ukarudi baadaye?
Toka nilipozaliwa, wazee wangu walipozaliwa hapa na mimi ndo nikazaliwa hapa. Baada ya hapo wawekezaji wakaja kwenye ofisi ya serikali, wakati kinaitwa vijiji. Alipotembelea kule eneo akaona linafaa kwa uwekezaji wa biashara. Kwa hiyo yeye alikaja kwenye kijiji, serikali ya kijiji akaomba eneo hili kwamba awekeze ili vijana sisi watoto wa eneo hili tupate ajira.
Na eneo lilikuwa vipi hapo awali kabla halijaweza kuhifadhiwa kama tunavyoona sasa hivi?
Hapo awali kulikuwa miji ya wazee wetu, baada ya vijiji ndio wakahama huko kuelekea kwenye vijiji. Kwa hiyo pakawa hapana shughuli yoyote, ilikuwa shughuli ya uvuvi tu baharini basi. Baadaye hapo kuja mwekezaji akasema mimi nahitaji eneo ili nipate watoto wenu ili wapate ajira. Kwa kweli wazee wakakubali, wakalitoa eneo hili. Kwa kweli mpaka sasa hivi sisi vijana wao, watoto wao tunaneemeka kwa uwekezaji kwa huyu mheshimiwa Charles Dobi.
Unaweza kukumbuka labda ukarudi nyuma kidogo pale ambapo aliweza akalinunua kuinua eneo hili, afu jitihada za kurejesha mazingira katika hali ya uoto asili ikaanza kufanyika. Mlifanya vitu gani kuhakikisha kwamba eneo hili linarudi katika ukijani huu tunaoona sasa hivi?
Hapo mimi sijaelewa kama haliuziwa ile eneo au la. Hili tu wazee walivyokaa kwenye vikao wakamwekeza mwekezaji ili sisi watoto wao tupate ajira. Hapo nyuma palikuwa sehemu zingine palikuwa